from Jian.com. This is Mak Chou Si. Today I would like to talk about Chinese sword and how to pick a sword that is good for you while introducing you some very useful knowledge here. First, here you can see I got a rubber hammer like that. So you can see the weight is about 0.7 pounds, something like that. Not very heavy, okay, less than 1 pound, more than half a pound. And you do this. It feels like pretty heavy, right? The hammer, it feels like it's going to drop onto something, okay, heavy. And now, if you shift the weight to here, and then you do the same thing, now it feels very light, right? When the point of balance for a sword or a weapon shift more toward the tip of the blade, the heavier that weapon feels, okay? And which means a weapon like that, a sword like that, with the point of balance very close to the guard, and it weighs 3 pounds. Whereas another sword weighs 3 pounds with the point of balance out here. Okay, of course, this setup will be much heavier feeling in the hand. Remember, there are 3 terminology or 3 factors I'm going to talk about today. The weight, the actual weight, which are weight with the scale. The point of balance, which is measured by using a flashlight here to measure the balance of the blade, and using a ruler to measure the point of balance from the guard and out. And the third one is I'm going to tell you how it feels in the hand. Before I start, many of you may not know about Chinese sword that much. So here I got a Japanese sword, a katana. And I'll use this, which is a sharp diameter steel blade, katana. And we'll demonstrate the same test. See, very sharp. We'll demonstrate the test using the katana here. A normal, like very normal, usually, a normal typical katana weighs about 2.2 pounds. 2.2 pounds. With the point of balance of this katana is about 6 inches from the guard. And keep in mind that we are using 2 hands to hold this weapon. Okay? So by using 2 hands to hold the katana, which weighs about 2.2 pounds, with a point of balance to about 6 inches. This is a very typical cheap Chinese sword. Not expensive, it's not a functional sword, it's a practice sword, and made of stainless steel blade, and it's semi-flexible, like that, semi-flexible, not very flexible. So this is not the Wushu's kind of like crappy chrome-plated steel blade. It's a stainless steel blade, and it's forged too. Full tang, not rat tail tang. Take a look. It weighs about 1.1 pound. With the point of balance at 3 inches from the guard. It feels like a 1 pound sword. Okay, 1 pound or less. Very light, very fast, okay, very fast sword. And it's also not sharpened. Now here we have the cold steel jade lion sword with a very nice jade color, jade green color scabbard, raised skin scabbard. And pull the thing out, it's a diameter steel blade, very sharp out of the box. It weighs about 2.1 pounds. With this point of balance at 4 inches from the guard. It feels like a 1.5 pound or about 2 pound thing. Not very heavy, but it is sturdy and firm kind of feeling. This here is a Han Dynasty style sword, which we call Hon Gin, or in Mandarin, Han Jian. This is a single-handed or double-handed sword with a very, very sharp diameter steel blade. Very sharp blade. This sword weighed 1.75 pounds. With the point of balance at 3 inches from the guard. It feels much lighter than the Jade Lion sword, and also it feels about the same as the cheap sword there that we tested at first place. About that kind of feeling, but then it gives you a more firm, steady kind of feeling instead of a floaty feeling. So this sword actually feels way better in hand than that cheap sword. Here I'm introducing you this Cold Moon Sword Lang Yu Kim from Dragonwell's Forge. You see the handle, it's kind of long. It can be one-handed or two-handed as well. Pulling this thing out, wow, it's a very thick and sturdy blade. High carbon steel blade, sharpened to a sharp edge. This sword weighs about 3.5 pounds, about 3.5, almost. The point of balance on the sword is about 3 inches from the guard. Very nice balance. This sword is a very comfortable sword to use, and also it feels like a 2-pound something sword only, not like a 3-pound, like not like very heavy. It feels like about 2 pounds something, not that bad. And actually, it's a very good sword because of the handle here. You can use one hand or two hands, like that. Very cool, very nice sword. Very comfortable and nice weight. Here I'm introducing you a very, very, very cool sword I own. This is what I call the Mega Sword. The Mega Sword here is very heavy and huge, also bulky. Pulling the blade out, take a look. It's a high carbon steel blade, sharpened blade. This sword weighs 4.25 pounds. The point of balance of the sword is about 3 inches from the guard and up. This sword also feels very comfortable in hand, but not fast anymore. It's a very good training sword for the weight. It feels that it's giving you a lot of weight to eat right here on the bicep when you hold it. It feels like sinking down from here, this spot, not here, okay? So it's very cool feeling. And you feel that the sword is heavy and it's weighted, but then it's not uncomfortable to wield. Take a look. You can do this, and whoa, like that. It's very, very comfortable for a heavy sword. And for the crazy kung fu person like me, you can also put the scabbard on and lock it so that it's secured, and then take a look. It weighs about 6.5 pounds. If you like, you can actually secure the scabbard on the sword and use it like that as a training sword with super mega heavy blade. That is very cool, eh? Let's test the point of balance. With the scabbard on, the point of balance is 6.75 inches from the guard, way up here. It's a very heavy, crazy training weapon. Now at last, I want to show you this is the double-handed sword. A high carbon steel blade, pretty heavy blade too, and you can see the forge here is very thick. And the wording here, right here, the engraving, it reads Jian, the general's sword. This sword weighs 4 pounds. The point of balance of the sword is about 2 inches from the guard. Now that you can see, finally we got a sword with a very cool point of balance, because it's 2 to 2 inches from the guard. When you hold it, even if it's a 4-pound sword, it doesn't feel very bad. Okay, it doesn't feel as heavy as the mega sword we just tested. It feels actually more like the Cold Moon sword, but then you get a better feeling for the grip. But the grip here, okay, when you hold it, you feel very strong. You feel that the sword is strong, and you got that kind of supporting power when you do like blocks and then like that. Okay, it's very, very, very strong feeling. And also, okay, for the blade, because it's not blade heavy, okay, you can go like that and turn right away like that without feeling like something very heavy dragging you over. It feels very easy to turn. So this is the advantage of a heavy sword with a point of balance shifted down. And of course, okay, this sword doesn't come with that kind of setup. I actually modded this sword to have the weight here on the pommel and shift that weight of balance down. So I disassembled the sword and did some mod myself to add weight inside here so that it shifted the point of balance way down here to 2 inches from the guard for a more ideal and optimized setup. So everyone, now that you saw all the comparison with all that sword I just shown you, now you know how to choose the sword that is good for you. To conclude this video, okay, I would like to say this again. A normal sword, light sword, is about 1 pound and a half or more, but no more than 2 pounds. That's a light sword. Anything functional, like fully functional, typical single-handed sword, weighs about 2 pounds to 2.5 pounds. Anything from 3 pounds and up are considered to be heavy swords. And usually heavy swords are used for training purpose, and sometimes they are also for functional purpose, but then usually they are for training purpose, power building, and that kind of stuff. And also a nice tip here is that if you got a sword like this, the Cold Steel Jade Lion sword, it weighs about 2 pounds and like 2.1 pounds with just a sword. But then with the scabbard on, it weighs about 3 pounds something. So you can actually put the scabbard on and use it to train. It adds that kind of safety for you because it protects the edge and also gives you that weight as well. So 3 pound sword. Here you go. And the center of balance will be shifted outward a bit to about here. So yeah, 4 or 5 inches from guard. So that's about tweaked it to about like 2 pounds heavier kind of feeling. And when you hold it, it actually gives you that blade heavy feeling, and it's great for power building. It's great for conditioning your wrist, your muscles, and all that stuff. So hope you like my video, and remember to subscribe and like. Bye bye.